Hey guys, what's up? I'm going to talk to you today about one reason you might not be losing weight even though you're trying your hardest. What might it be? BLTs and not the sandwich. So if you're new around here, my name is Angie. My husband and I own CrossFit Murray, and I do nutrition coaching where I teach people how to count macros and how to focus on healthy eating that's sustainable, that helps you reach your goals, whatever they are. I also blog and do YouTube videos on whatever floats my boat. My blog is Doodle Turtle's Random Thoughts, and that's kind of how this YouTube video is. It's whatever randomly floats across my mind that I want to talk about. Today we're talking about nutrition. Some days it's fitness, some days it's thrift shopping, some days it's travel, some days it's just things that piss me off, and I rant a little bit. So hang out today. We're going to talk about one reason why you might not be losing weight. A lot of times when I work with people and I just talk to people, they say, I eat really healthy. I eat X number of calories, but I'm just not losing weight. Or they tell me, I've been trying really, really hard and I'm hitting my calorie and macro numbers, but the scale's not budging. Well, one reason the scale might not be budging is a little thing called BLTs. Bites, licks, and tastes. It's those little bitty things that you eat, but you don't track, or you don't count, or when you're talking about how healthy you eat, they don't float up into your brain. For example, a lot of us get up in the morning and we fix that cup of coffee. But how many of us, when we're tracking or we're counting calories, do we remember to count that creamer that we add in there? Okay, I know a lot of people don't. A lot of us, if we're really walking a fine line on the losing weight platform, we don't think about the vitamins that we take or the fish oil pills that we take. Those have calories. And I know it seems silly and little, and it is silly and little. But I'm going to walk you through in this video how those little silly bites, licks, and tastes can add up to almost 30 pounds of weight gain in a year. Yeah, almost 30 pounds. So let's think about some scenarios where you might not be eating more than you realize. Might be eating more than you realize, not eating, not more. You know what I meant. So the coffee is one of them. Coffee creamer bites a lot of people in the butt. I have worked with people that put 6 tablespoons of creamer in their coffee, and that's the first thing I say to them is, whoa, hold up. You've either got to cut that back or you're going to have to account for it by pulling off something somewhere else. One of those little Coffee Mate creamers has 15 calories in it. One of the little individual ones. Again, not a big deal by itself, but it's how it adds up over time. Another place that people get some little sneaky calories that they don't think about is when you're at work and somebody brings in a donut or a tray of cookies. And maybe you don't even eat the whole donut. You share it with a friend, or you have one little cookie, or that coworker that always has a bowl of candy, and sometimes when you walk by, you pick up a little tiny Snickers miniature. The little cute ones. Or a Hershey Kiss. Oh, one of my favorites. Okay? Again, one little Snickers bar, one little Hershey Kiss, not a big deal. But it's that accumulation. How many of you, when you go to the bank, your inner 6-year-old comes out and you have to get a dum-dum sucker? You're waiting in line, you pop the dum-dum, and you pop it in your mouth when you get in the car, and you eat a sucker on the way home. Or you're leaving the Mexican restaurant, and they've got all that candy up front, and you buy a couple Andes mints. Or, my favorite, you go to Sam's Club, and it's sample day. You don't think about how much those little samples add up. I did a Facebook post earlier about actually my experience. I was at Kroger doing my weekly shopping, and the Boar's Head representative was there, and he was handing out little sandwiches. And it was about, a regular size sandwich, I guess, cut into fourths. And it had some really delicious bread. And I asked him what the bread was and then promptly forgot. But it had bread, provolone cheese, and meat. That was it. No condiments, no butter. You know, how bad could it be? So I ate my little sandwich and marveled at how amazingly delicious it was. Well, when I got home and I started putting it in my FitnessPal, I didn't have my scale with me. So yes, I had to estimate. But considering I've been weighing and measuring and tracking since 2015, I'm a pretty decent estimator. Y'all, that little bit of sandwich was 130 calories. Bread, meat, and cheese. It was 130 calories. If you're running a deficit trying to lose weight, that 130 calories is a big deal. So take that to when you're at Sam's Club and you get a little sandwich sample, and then you get a little cheesecake sample, and you get a little fruit with a little dip sample over here. You can basically eat a small meal on Sam's Club samples and Food Club samples. Not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying that's why a lot of times we can't figure out why we're not losing weight. It's because we're not thinking about all these little BLTs, bites, licks, and tastes. You know, how many of you actually weigh and measure your peanut butter? I do, because if I didn't, I would eat way more than I'm supposed to. So you measure it out, and you've got 25 grams of nut butter, but then you lick that spoon. That's a couple of extra grams. Those of you with kids, you know this happens. They eat, they're done eating, and there's food left on their plate. How many of you mamas eat that food? It's just a chicken nugget. Okay? It's just the 4 or 5 fries they didn't finish. No big deal, right? Those calories add up, guys, and that's why your really healthy diet has you gaining weight. That's why your I'm not going to edit this out just so you can see how eloquent I am. That's why your Angie, I eat healthy. I eat 1,200 calories a day. I'm not losing weight. That's why it's not working, guys, because these little sneaky things. How about when you get home and you open up the refrigerator and you're trying to decide what to have for dinner, you grab the orange juice, pop it open, and get a couple gulps out of the orange juice carton. Maybe you don't do that. Maybe you have a different beverage that you gulp. But someone once told me, and it's one of the best pieces of advice I have ever heard. It was in the context of drinking more water. 6 big gulps is about 4 ounces. So if you take your water bottle and you gulp, 6 times, you've basically knocked out 4 ounces of water. Well, if you do that with orange juice, gulp, you're probably getting at least an ounce of orange juice. Little things like that. Chocolate milk, soda, energy drinks, things that maybe you're not accounting for but that are in your diet. A lot of you like to cook dinner with a glass of wine. And maybe you're not thinking about that glass of wine when you're tracking. Now, alcohol is a whole nother shebang in weight loss. And I have a whole video about alcohol in my 30 Days to Master Macros course. But basically, alcohol shuts down any fat burning you've got going on. But besides that, alcohol has a lot of calories. That 3.5 ounces of wine that you're drinking while you cook dinner, that's about 75 calories. And 3.5 ounces is not a lot. Most of you are drinking more than that. Get turned, right? So these little extra bites, these little extra sips, these BLTs are sabotaging your diet. Let me walk you through a hypothetical day of extra little BLTs, their calorie counts, and the repercussions that can have on your waistline, on the scale. So let's say you get up in the morning and you fix your coffee and you have basically 2 of those little creamers. Well, there's 30 calories. And then you go to work and the receptionist has a cute little thing of candy on her desk and you get you a little Snickers. There's 42 calories. Then when you take your lunch break and you go get your salad and you eat super healthy and you stop by the bank, you do grab that dum-dum sucker.
Mark 25 calories.
You get back to work and you're sitting in a meeting and it's the most boring meeting ever, but mercifully the organizer has set out bowls of M&Ms. Did you know that one M&M has 3 calories? But you ain't eating just one. Let's say you grab a little handful.
There's at least 30 calories.
Then you go and you pick your kids up from school and you've got to run them here and you've got to run them there, and it's a fast food day. So you run them through McDonald's and you steal one of their nuggets and a pinch of their fries. No big deal, right? Well, one nugget has 50 calories and about 5 fries are going to run you about 25 calories. You get home and you start getting ready for dinner. You pour you a tiny little glass of wine and you're drinking that wine while you cook. Like I said earlier, that's about 75 calories. So maybe you ate a great healthy breakfast and maybe you got a salad with no dressing at lunch, and then maybe for supper you're fixing salmon and roasted Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes and big salad, and you're looking at me saying, I eat 3 meals a day, Angie, and they're all really healthy. Why am I not gaining weight? Or excuse me, why am I gaining weight? Nah. Well, it's because all those little BLTs that you ate today add up to 277 extra calories. Now, guys, I'm sure you've heard the thing that 3,500 calories is basically 1 pound. So if you want to lose a pound, cut 3,500 calories. Well, the opposite is true. If you want to gain a pound, you've got to add 3,500 calories. Well, if every day was like this hypothetical day, and every day you had an extra 277 BLT calories, brace yourself. That's 1,001,105 extra calories a year. If you take that and you divide that by 3,500 calories, guys, that is 29 pounds that you will gain in a year from BLTs. Let that sink in a minute. Those little innocent things that you pop into your mouth that you don't think about, that you don't write down in your food diary, that you don't tell your nutrition coach who's beating her head against the wall and can't figure out why your goals aren't happening. It's coming from those little sneaky BLTs. So my point here is not to freak you out. My point is to open your eyes. In my 30 Days to Master Macros course, that's one of our biggest goals, is just to open your eyes to what you're eating, why you're eating, and how to make some changes. Hopefully this little video on BLTs is going to open your eyes up to everything you're innocently popping into your mouth. As you get older, your metabolism declines. And as we get older, we have to change our eating habits to accommodate that. Most people don't. And that's why most people slowly and progressively put on weight as they get older. It's because they're not changing their eating habits. Their body is slowing down. And especially true, they're not paying attention to the BLTs. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video and if you feel like you've learned a little bit, I would love it if you would hit the thumbs up button in YouTube, because I am a dork. I am trying to grow my YouTube. And I would super duper love it if you would hit the subscribe button. You'll get all my randomness. And any video that's not up your any video that's not up your alley, you don't have to watch it, just skip it. But I guarantee you'll learn something, and I try to make people laugh. So thanks for watching. Stay strong, you guys. Have a great day. Bye. Sometimes I try to be fancy, but then I realize I'm wearing $7 shades, 50-cent earrings from the thrift store, and a $4 thrift shop top. I can't talk today. So there's no fancy up in her. This is just me.